a lot of selling going on in Japan. Quite a bit of pitching though. Hello, my name is Greg Story. I'm the president of Dale Carnegie Training here in Japan and the best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. We're coming to you from the High Performance Center here in Akasaka, Minato-ku, the very business center of Tokyo. This is part of a series, maybe number 24 I think, for how to do business in Japan or doing business in Japan. And today I want to talk a little bit about the world of asking questions rather than pitching in selling. Now, in the West, we've been trained in consultative selling for many decades. So all the buyers are completely schooled up in how this works. You meet the buyer, you ask a series of questions to really uncover their needs, you line up your solution if it fits, and then that's what you provide. Now, in Japan, they've been trained by pitch people, not salespeople, forever. They don't actually know what salespeople here are yet because they're not doing anything apart from just pitching. So they don't ask questions. They turn up and then they start going through whatever it is I've got, trying to throw enough mud on the wall, see how much will stick. Not the best idea. Now, if you're coming out of a Western sales environment and you're used to having that consultative selling as a background to the whole sales meeting, you're going to go into that sales meeting in Japan and you're going to start asking questions. Here's the first problem. They won't answer them. And frankly, they're insulted. You are asking me questions. By the way, I'm not the buyer is king like in the West. I'm God in Japan. You cannot ask God questions. You give your pitch like every other salesman I've ever met in my entire career, and then I'll shoot holes in it and tell you what's wrong with it. That's how we do it here in Japan. Well, you don't want to do that in Japan because that's a very hard way to get a sale. Now, you can ask questions, but you just can't blunder in there and start blasting away with your questions. You have to set it up. And here's a great way to set it up. So you get through the sort of chit-chat, small talk, rapport building at the very, very start, and then you go into something like this. Dale Carnegie Training is a global soft skills training expert company. We help people develop in their careers and develop businesses and get the outcomes that they're after. An example of this would be XYZ Company, where we trained all of their hotel staff and they found the client feedback really got a lift and the repeat bookings really improved. Maybe we could do the same for you. I'm not sure. But in order for me to understand whether that's possible or not, would you mind if I ask you a few questions? There is your request for permission to ask questions as opposed to just going straight into the questioning format. You set it up. Here's the structure. Overview of what you do. Okay, in this case, it was a hotel, trying to sell training to a hotel. So this is what we do. Here's some example, here's some evidence of someone else in your industry, your sector, maybe one of your competitors, where we've had success. Now, we don't say in a very, typical Western pushy format, we can definitely do that for you. We don't say that. We say maybe. Very soft. Maybe, because actually we don't know. Until we ask them a whole bunch of questions, we've got no idea, really, if what we've got is going to be suitable. Maybe we could do the same for you. I'm not sure. Of course you're not sure. You don't know yet. What do you know what they want? But in order for me to understand that, would you mind if I ask you a few questions? Now, if they have interest, there will probably be a lot of questions. But we don't know that. There may be no interest and therefore there's only be a few questions. So we sort of go into the minimum of what this possibly might turn out like. And then we ask well-designed questions of the buyer. And mentally, we're running through our library of solutions in our mind and saying, do I have a match here? They want this. Do we have that? And if you don't have it, don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. Go and find a buyer that you can help. But we're doing that. And then when it comes to solution provision, we've known in our questioning stage what they were looking for, so we can link the solution part to the problem solution. Now, this is very fundamental in Western selling, but in Japan it's basically unknown. People come in here, they give their pitch, they go through their entire range. They talk about the spec, they talk about the detail, they talk about the features, just pound, 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 pound the buyer, and then hope they're going to get a sale. So the buyers have been trained by this echelon of really poor, underperforming salespeople. But you turn up and you're a skilled professional, you're not going to be successful automatically here just because you're doing the right thing, because they will not actually accept your question. You will ask them the question, guess what? They'll just sit there, silent, and not say a thing. You've asked the question, they don't even respond. Or when they do respond, they start asking for your pitch. And that's always a bad, bad, bad road to take, I can tell you that. So you have to set it up, and you have to be a professional about well-designed questions, ask for permission, then you can go into your questioning sequence. If you do that, you will be successful in sales in Japan. But if you want to be a pitch person rather than a professional salesperson, well, good luck for that. Give me a call. Let me know how that worked out for you. I don't think it'll work too well. Try being a professional. Get permission to ask your questions here in Japan.